Right. Let's look at another section of logic that we encounter daily, which is informal proofs. So informal proofs look at how can we get to the conclusion using English. So we're saying we use English words. Right? So you can write an essay to prove that the conclusion, you can get to the conclusion from the given premise. Right. So that is how you demonstrate it. So now let's look at a couple of examples. So remember all the rules that we did, the natural deduction rules, they are going to be useful in application here. They're going to be useful in application in this case, right? Only that we are using them using English, right? So let's look at an example, right? We know that Mary or Letty plays netball, Tembi or Mavis plays volleyball, right? So they show that the following argument is valid by giving an informal proof using proof by cases, right? So we're going to look at proof by cases. So proof by cases states case by case, and usually when we are using proof by cases, you realize that we have proof by cases is closely linked to when we use or elimination, right? So we have Mary or Letty, Tembi or Mavis, right? So we can choose a starting point. We can choose a starting point. So let's say we say that Mary or Letty plays netball, right? And Tembi or Mavis play volleyball. So this is true and this has to be true individually, right? So we can say either, so this is 1, 2, 3, either Mary or Letty or we can say, because this is one statement, right? So let's say from 1, we have Mary or Letty plays netball, right? So the first case is Mary plays netball. The second case would be Letty plays netball. So we say if Mary plays netball, what's going to happen? If Mary plays netball, then here we have Mary does not play netball, or Mavis does not play netball, or Mavis does not play volleyball. And then from 2, because we know that Mary plays netball, then Mavis, it should be true that Mavis does not play volleyball. Then Mavis does not play volleyball. Right? And then if we know that Mavis does not play volleyball, we know that Mavis plays volleyball or Tembi plays volleyball, right? From 1. So we can say also from 1. We know that Tembi plays volleyball since Mavis does not. So we have from the first case, which is Mary plays netball, we've proven Tembi plays volleyball. Then case 2 would then be, we are now saying if Letty plays netball, what's going to happen? If Letty plays netball, then from 3, Tembi plays volleyball. Plays volleyball. Right? Why is that the case? Simply because we know Letty plays netball. This one says Letty does not play netball or that. So, right, since therefore we can say therefore Tembi plays netball using proof by cases. Tembi plays netball using proof by cases. Right. So we've proved using proof by cases that Tembi plays volleyball. So it's supposed to be volleyball over here. All right. Then let's move on to the other one. We want to prove that if C is small, then so is B, right? So if C is small, then is B. So if you want to prove C is small, what are we going to do, right? They're saying use proof by contradiction, right? They're saying use proof by contradiction. So if C is small, so then is B, right? So we need to assume if we want to contradict this, right? The contradiction of if we want to negate P implies Q, we'll simply say it will be not P or Q, it will be P and not Q. Right? It will be P and not Q. So right. Or if we want to do it in English, we would say, so if C is small, then so is B, right? If C is small, and so is B. So we see that the negation still says C is small, and so is B. B is not small. So if we want to use that, so we assume, let's assume B is not small. B is not small because this is the one that is being affected. Let's assume B is not small, right? So if B is not small, what's going to happen? If B is not small, what's going to happen? This says B is small unless it is a cube, right? If it is not small, then it is a cube, right? So we assume B is not small, therefore it is a cube. Therefore it is a cube, right? Then so we know that B is a cube, and then what else do we know? What else do we know? They say if B is a cube, then E is not small, right? Then from 4, we see that from 4 we get E is not small. E is not small. Where are we getting that from? Because B is a cube. Since B is a cube, right? So we have E. So they say if C is small, then D or E is 2. Right? Then D or E is 2. If D is small, then C is not. Then we also have C, right? We know that E is not small, right? E is not small. That is the conclusion that we have so far. E is not small. So if we have E is not small, then from there, from 4, right, we know we get that D is small. We're saying that D is small because we know E is not small. So D is small if C is small. Right. So then they say if D is small, then we know C is not. But we know that if C is small, right? So we also see from 3, right? From 3 we see that if D is small, C is also small. C is also small, right? Then we say from if C is small, then if C is small, here we are told that B is small. B is small, right? We therefore have a contradiction. With our initial assumption, and conclude that B is small. That B is small. That B is small. All right. Right. Let's look at something like this and consider using proof by contradiction. Right. Let's use proof by contradiction for this one as well. So assume, what's the assumption? We're going to assume that Harry shot the goal. Assume Harry shot the goal. Right? If Harry shot the goal, we know that if Harry shot the goal, it means that their only goal was shot after 55 minutes, right? We know that we can say Harry if Harry shot the goal, okay, so let's say if Harry shot the goal, then he was he was he was then because the goal was scored after 55 minutes, right? Then the goal, then he was in the game, right? So he was in the game after 55 minutes. Right? Then now, after 55 minutes, he was in the game, right? So if he was in the game after 55 minutes, if he was in the game after 55 minutes, if he was in the game after 55 minutes, was in the game after 55 minutes, after 55 minutes, what would have happened? Then it means that Harry was not chosen, right? So if Harry is chosen but Moses is not, the coach always lets Harry start. So and replaces him after 50 minutes. So Harry is not chosen, right? So if he was in the game after 55 minutes, it means he was not chosen for the match. He was not chosen for the match. Chosen for the match. Right. From 5, we know Harry was chosen for the match, therefore we have a contradiction. We know Harry was chosen for the match, was chosen for the match. Therefore, we have a contradiction. We have a contradiction. We have a contradiction and conclude that Harry did not shoot the goal. Did not shoot the goal. Right. So that is what we have.